Hello everyone, welcome to the channel Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles. I'm Kishore and today we'll be solving a killer Sudoku created by DiMono. This Sudoku was posted on the Logic Masters Germany portal by DiMono and it is rated a staggering 97% on the Germany portal, which means that it is enjoyed by a majority of solvers and the solvers have found it absolutely delightful to give this rating. So without much further ado, I'll move on to the rules of the Sudoku. Each row, each column and each 3x3 box will contain the digits 1 to 9. In addition to that, the cells encompassed by dotted lines, as you can see, will sum up to the clue given in the top left corner of the cage, and digits do not repeat inside a cage. So for example, if 7 comes within a cage, you cannot have another 7 within the cage. These are the rules. And you may also try out this Sudoku from the link given in the description of the video. Please feel free to give it a try and then come back to watch the video. Now let us start solving the Sudoku. So as you can see, the Sudoku has a very pretty theme. There are lots of 28 cages inside the grid, right? In fact, it is surrounding the grid totally. Now when you have a 4-cell 28 cage, you can be certain that 8 and 9 would have to be present in the cages, right? There is no way you can make 28 total without 8 and 9 if it is a 4-cell cage. So let us try making the total without 8 and 9. Suppose if you don't have an 8, the maximum total you will be able to reach is only 9 plus 7 plus 6 plus 5, which is equal to 27. So you need both 8 and 9 to reach the 28 total. Now the remaining two digits must sum up to 11, right? Because 8 plus 9 is 17 and we need 11 more. So the 7 can be reached by using 4 plus 7 or 5 plus 6. So basically you can remember that 28 in a 4-cell cage will always be 9 plus 8 plus 7 plus 4 or 9 plus 8 plus 6 plus 5. These are the only two possibilities. There are no other possibilities. Now let us try to do something with these possibilities, right? So if you look at this box, right, we know that there are two cages. So these two cages will have 4 cells occupied by 8 and 9 between them, right? Because 8 and 9 will occupy 2 cells in this cage and 8 and 9 will occupy 2 cells in this cage, right? But in this box, you can have exactly 1, 8 and 9. But we know that 8 and 9 occur 2 times in this, they occupy 2 cells in this cage and 2 cells in this cage, and we can have 8 and 9 only once here, which means that these 2 cells must be 8 and 9, right? A different way to explain this is, can 2 of these 3 cells be 8 and 9? No, right? Because if 2 of these 3 cells are 8 and 9, then you will have no 8 and 9s here, and you need to have both the 8 and 9 in this cell, which is not possible. So which means that this cell would have to be an 8 and 9 for sure. And similarly, you can use the same argument here. Can 2 of these 3 cells be 8 and 9? No, right? Which means that you can't have 8 and 9 here, and you need to have both 8 and 9 here, which is not possible. So this is also surely 8 and 9, and one of these cells is 8 and 9 and one of these cells is 8 and 9. Now if you look at this cell, it can't be in these 3 cells, right? But we also know that this cage too contains 8 and 9. So if this is 8, these 3 cells can't be 8, and if this is 9, these 3 cells can't be 9 using classic rule. So which means that this cell would have to be 8 and 9. Whatever is here should come here. Okay. Now look at this cage, this 28 cage and this 28 cage. We know that these 4 cells will contain 8 and 9 in them. So you can't have 8 or 9 here because these 2 cells is having an effect on all of these 4 cells. So if you have an 8 and 9 in any of these 2 cells, you are eliminating 8 and 9 from all these 4 cells, right? Beautiful, right? So which means that these 2 cells can't contain 8 and 9 and these 2 cells will be 8 and 9 now. So we can highlight them, they are fixed. And these 2 cells are 4, 7 or 5, 6. We'll see that later. Now that we have marked 8, 9 pair here, we can eliminate the 8 and 9 from here. So one of these 2 cells will be 8 and 9. So we have 8 and 9 here, which means at max only one of these 2 cells will be 8 and 9. Suppose if none of these cells are 8 and 9 and both of these cells should be 8 and 9, and that creates a contradiction for this cage. Similar to the idea that we saw here. So both of these cells can't be 8 and 9 because then this 28 cage will be violated. So which means that one of these cell must be 8 and 9 and one of this cell must be 8 and 9, right? Because you have 8, 9 here. So both of these cells can't be 8 and 9. So you must have 1 here and you must have exactly 1 here. So which means that this cell must be 8 and 9 for sure, right? Because if this is not 8 or 9, you will have both the 8 and 9s here, and both the 8 and 9s are removed from here, and both 8 9s will be coming here, which will create a contradiction here. So one of these cells will be 8 and 9, and now we have two fixed cells 8 and 9 in that row, so we can remove the rest of the cells. Purest of pure logic, guys. Purest of pure logic. Superb, right? So we can try to continue the Sudoku this way. Right now, in this 28 cage, the 8 and 9 is going to come in these three cells, so we can remove the 8 9 from here. So these two cells form an 8 9 pair now. We can highlight them. Okay, now we have an 8 9 pair in column 3, so we can remove the rest of the 8 and 9s along that column. Okay. So this cell has to be 8 and 9 for the 28 cage. Great, we are getting very good progress now. And this cell must be 8 and 9 for sure because only two cells left now. And now we have an 8 9 pair in column 2, so which means this is not an 8 and 9. Superb logic, guys. Simply superb logic. No wonder this Sudoku is rated so high on the portal. Really good logic. So we get the 8 and 9 for this cage also. Can we do anything more? So one of these cells will be 8 and 9, right? Okay. So if you look at this box, a 12 cage can never contain 8 and 9, right? Because if you have an 8, then 8 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3, minimum you will have 14 total. So 8 and 9 can never occur in a 12 cage. And 8 and 9 is in column 4, so 8 and 9 can't be here. So which means that these 4 cells will contain 8 and 9 between them, right? These 4 cells. But we know that one of these 3 cells will contain 8 and 9, which means that for row 6, one of these 2 cells will have to contain 8 and 9, exactly one of these 2 cells. So the remaining 8 or 9 has to come in one of these 2 cells, right? I hope it's clear. For this 28 cage, one of these 3 cells will contain 8 or 9, and for that row 6, you can't have 8 and 9 here because it's already paired here. So one of these 2 cells will be 8 and 9. And the remaining 8 or 9 has to come here. So which means that we are having 8 9 pair here. So 8 9 can be removed from here. And this cell has to be 8 and 9 now because both of these can't be 8 and 9. So this would have to be 8 and 9. And we have formed a pair for row 4 too. Okay. So one of these cells would have to be 8 and 9 because both cannot be 8 and 9. This would be violated. So this cell has to be 8 and 9 for sure. We can highlight it. And now we have formed an 8 9 pair in column 7. So this can be removed. Great logic. Can we play around with these 8 and 9s? Can we get anything here? So one of these 3 cells would have to be 8 and 9. Exactly one of these 3 cells, right? Alright, I don't think we can resolve them yet. However, I am seeing something that may be useful to us. So because we have marked 8 9 pairs all over the grid, we can try to separate them, right? If this cell is 8, this cell is 9 and this cell is again 8, right? So what we'll do, we'll highlight the cells which are going to have the same value. So let me highlight this cell, row 8 column 7. If it is 8, then this is 9 and this is 8, right? So this is 9 and this is 8, this is 9, this is 8, this is 9, and one of these cells will be 8, right? So let me change the color of the cells highlighted first. Let me change them to green. So all these cells will have the same value, right? Because if this is 8, this is 9, this is 8, this is 9, this is 8, this is 9, this is 8, right? So all these cells will have the same value. And one of these two cells will have red in them because this is green, which means that this cell would be green. We can highlight that. So this cell would be green, which means that this is red and this is again green. So all the green cells will be equal in value. Now we have reached an interesting stage, right? I'm sure you will appreciate this logic. Look at this cell. It is saying both the green cell and the red cell, which means that this cell cannot be 8 or 9, because if this is 8, then you will have both 9 in these cells. However, these are of different colors, which means that if this is 8, this is 9, or if this is 9, this is 8. So which means you can eliminate the 8, 9 from here. Beautiful guys, absolutely beautiful Sudoku, really. So which means that this must be a green now. We have got 8, 9 pair in row 5, and one of these cells must be red and one of these two cells must be green. So let me highlight them. One of these is green, one of this is green, and one of this is red. We don't know it. And this two, one of these two is red. Okay. Can we resolve anything now? One of these two cells would have to be 8 and 9, and one of these two cells would have to be 8 and 9. So we know for sure that 15 kg has either 8 or 9. We just don't know yet which one. Okay. I don't think we can resolve this now. So let us continue the Sudoku. So this 28 kg, if you see, the possibilities here in row 5 column 3 and row 6 column 3 must be 4, 7 or 5, 6, right? So you notice some interesting thing here. If this is 4, 7, then this would have to be 5, 6, because like I said at the start, 28 is either 8 plus 9 plus 4 plus 7 or 8 plus 9 plus 5 plus 6. So if this is 4, 7, this is 5, 6. And even this would change. So what we'll do, we'll again use the color coding to see if we can get anywhere. So let me use the purple color maybe. So if this is purple, this is going to be a different color. Let's say yellow. So if this is 4, 7, this is 5, 6. And now these two cells can't be 4, 7, right? Because we have a 4, 7 pair here. So they must be yellow, right? We have only two options, 4, 7 and 5, 6. So if they are not purple, they must be yellow, right? And now if you look at this 11 total, it is not 2, 9 and it is not 3, 8. So it is either 4, 7 or 5, 6. But you can't have it yellow, right? Because if you have two cells yellow, then you will have violation in this cage, which means that this has to be a purple. Okay. And this 28 kg cannot be yellow, right? So to easily understand it, maybe you can even substitute the numbers. If this is 4, 7, this is 5, 6, right? And this would be 5, 6. So now these two cells can't be 5, 6. That is basically these two cells can't be the same color as this one. So this would have to be purple as well. I hope it's clear. Okay. These would have to be purple as well. Let me write the possibilities in them. 4, 7, 5, 6. And this would be 4, 7, 5 and 6. Right? Okay. So if you have a 4, 7 here, if you look at this 28 kg, you can't have 4, 7, right? Because we know that this cell will be 8 and 9. So if you have a 4, 7 here, you can maximum have a 4 here, but you can't have the 7. So which means that if this is a 4, 7, this would be 5, 6, right? Okay, we can remember that. Alright, if you look at box 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 have been marked. Remaining digits are 1, 2 and 3. We can pencil mark them. Right? So any more notation thing that will help us? This is beautiful, guys. Look at these two cells and these two cells. So they will be same in value, right? But we just don't know in which order, but they will be same in value because they are marked in purple. So in column 5 now, these two cells would have to be present in column 5, right? However, this cell can't contain 4, 7 or 5, 6 because it's already 8 and 9. So which means that these two cells must be 4, 7 and 5, 6. So this cell is not an 8 and 9, right? One of these two cells is 8 and 9. So this cell we have deduced cannot be 8 and 9. which means that this cell would be 8 and 9 and it is red. And now we got the 8, 9 pair in column 6, which means this cell is not 8 and 9. Superb. And this cell is 8 and 9. So we can remove the 8, 9 from here. And we have resolved all the 8, 9s now. Brilliant Sudoku, guys. Brilliant Sudoku. So much fun to solve. Right? So these two cells must be purple now. Okay. And now we know that the 12 cage cannot contain a 7. Right? A 12 cage can only be 1, 2, 3 and 6 or 1, 2, 4 and 5. Exactly two possibilities. 1, 2, 3 and 6 or 1, 2, 4 and 5. No other possibility can come inside the 12 cage when it is of 4 cells. So we know that these sum up to 11. So these two cells must sum up to 11, right? So if this is a 4, this is a 7, this is a 5, 6 and 6, 5. Sorry, 4 means 7, 5 means 6, 6 means 5, right? 5, 6 and 7. But you can't have a 7 here, right? Because 7 plus 8 will be 15 and we have one more cell to satisfy the 15 total. So this is not a 7, it's a 5 or a 6. Which means that this cell cannot be a 4 because if it's 5, 6, we need both of these cells to add up to 11. So this must be a 5, 6, 2. And which means that these two cells cannot be 4, 7. Beautiful. Which means the purple cells cannot be 4, 7. And which means that the yellow cells must be 4, 7. Beautiful, guys. Amazing. So yellow cells must be 4, 7 all over the place. Look how beautifully the Sudoku is getting fit. It is not normally what you would see in a killer Sudoku. It's a completely different solve. So if this is a 5, the 12 cage must have 7 from the remaining 3 cells, which must be 1, 2 and 4, right? So it must be 1, 2, 1, 2 and 4. And if it is a 6, then these 3 cells must be 1, 2 and 3. Must sum up to 6. So they must be 1, 2 and 3, right? 1, 2 and 3. Great. So can we resolve this 8 and 9 now? I don't think so. Okay. So this cell, this cage looks very restricted. The minimum, bare minimum total that you would get from these two cells is 5 plus 8, which is 13. So which means that at max, this cell can be a 2. So it can only be 1 or a 2. It cannot be more than that. Right? Let me remove the corner pencil mark from there. Yeah. So how do we continue here? Okay, we have a 5, 6 here, which means that these two cells must be 4, 7, right? They must be yellow. We can highlight them for clarity. And now we have a 5, 6 pair again, right? So which means that these cells must be 4 and 7, right? We can mark the 4, 7 there. Sorry. Okay. And which means that this cage, I think, cannot be 4, 7 now, right? Can this be a 4, 7? No. If this is a 4, 7, you can't have 4, 7 in this cell, and this cell is already marked as 8 and 9, and you will need both the 4 and 7 here. But one of these cells is exactly 8 and 9. So which means that this cell would be 5 and 6. So this would have to be 5, 6, and this would have to be 5 and 6, right? Great. So we have a 5, 6 pair now. We have a 5, 6 pair here also. Okay. Oh, now if you look at box 5, there is only 2 cells left for the 7. Only row 5 column 6 and row 6 column 4. But you know that this cage will have 4, 7, 8 and 9, and 4 and 7 would have to go here. So this cannot be a 7. So this would have to be a 7. And we have got our first digit, guys. Can you believe it? After so long, we have got our first digit. After doing so much work, no wonder this Sudoku is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So this 7 gives us a 4 here, a 7 here. And which means that this cell must be a 4 and 7, right? Yeah. This must be a 4 because 7 is here and these two cells cannot be 4. This is 7, 8 and 9. And so can we do anything more? Can the 4 7s be resolved? Not yet, right? I don't think we can resolve them yet. Okay, so again looking at this box, you can't have 5, 6, 8 and 9 in this cell. You can't have a 7, you can't have a 4. So this cell can only be 1, 2 or 3. But we know that this cage has to contain a 1 and a 2, right? Because of the 12. So which means that you can eliminate the 1 and 2 from there. So this would have to be a 3, this would have to be a 3. And these two cells cannot contain a 3 now. They would have to be 1 and 2. And these two cells must contain a 3 in them using classic rules. So how do we continue here? This is a purple cell, right? Let me highlight that. Okay, along column 6, 4, 7, 8, 9, 5, 6. So this cell must be a 1, 2 or a 3. Okay. And now the 7 in box 8 has only one cell left. We can place the 7 here. And you have a 4, 7 pair here, which means that these two cells must be a 7. One of these two cells, I mean, will be a 7. So the 11 cage can either be 4, 7 or 5, 6, right? Because 2 and 9 and 3 and 8 are ruled out. So it is either 4, 7 or 5, 6. Only option. And this cell can only be 4, 7, right? It can't be 5, 6, because if you have 5, 6, then this cage is just violated. So this would have to be a 4 and 7, and that immediately gives us the 7 in this cage. Beautiful, guys. Amazing solve path, right? Great to solve such Sudokus. So we have a 4, 7 pair here, which means that this is an yellow cage. And which means that 4 in box 9 has only one cell left, because 4 is here and 4 is here. So 4 would have to go here. Okay. One of these two cells must be 8 and 9. Which one is it going to be? Okay. Now that we have got 8, 9 here and 8, 9 here, we have got the 8, 9 pair here. So which means that this cell can't be 8 and 9. So which means that this is 8 and 9, right? So if this is red, this would have to be green, right? This would have to be green. Let us remove the green from here. So this would have to be green. Awesome. We just need one digit, guys, out of the red and the green cells, and we'll be able to explosively fill the rest of the cells. So this is also a purple cell. Okay. So if you look at this column, 4, 7, 5, 6, 8 and 9, remaining 3 cells must be 1, 2 and 3. And these 2 cells must be 5 and 6, right? For the box to be filled up. So this is obviously a purple cell and this is obviously a purple cell. Okay, awesome. So we have a 5, 6 pair in row 8, which means that this cell is not a 5 or a 6, this is a 7, this is a 4. And is that giving us anything? The Sudoku is a very tight solve, really tight solve. So let us look at this 9 cage now. It cannot be 1 and 8 because 8 is here. It can't be 2, 7, right? And it also can't be 4, 5. So this can only be 3 and 6. And now the left out digits in box 7 are 1, 2 and 5. 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 5 and 1, 2 and 5. 5, 6 pair. So this cannot be a 5. This is 1 or 2. Okay, we have to have a 6 in this column in box 1 because rest of the cells can't contain a 6. So 6 must be in one of these two cells, which means that this 8 is either 1, 7 or 3, 5 because 2, 6 is ruled out because 6 is here. So if it is 1, 7, so 7 has to be here and 1 has to be here because of 4, 7 pair. And if it is 3, 5, 5 has to be here and 3 has to be here because 5, 6 pair is here, so 5 has to be here and 3 has to be here, right? We just need one pencil mark and we should be getting a lot of digits, guys. Okay, 3 can be removed from here. From this cage, I think we have got the thing we have looked for. So this is 1, 2 and 4, which means for the 5 as 12 total, this must be a 7, so 5, right? So this is a 6, this is a 5, this is a 6. This is a 5 because of this 6, this is a 6, this is a 5, this is a 6. Great, we are getting some fast progress now. Okay, 1, 2 pair is here, so this must be a 4. This must be a 7, this must be a 4, this must be a 7, this must be a 4. This must be a 7 because of this 4, this must be a 4. 4, 7, 4, 7, 4, 7, we need the 4 here. Classic rules, 4 will go here. 4, 7, 4, 7, all the 4 7s have been filled up. Beautiful. So if you look at row 5, 3, 4, 6, 5 and 7, 8 and 9, remaining digits are 1 and 2. So we can place them 1, 2, and these two cells must be 3 and 6 now, right? This must be a 6 and this must be a 3, 6 pair. Can we resolve anything else now? Right? If you look at column 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9, so this cell must be 1, 2 or 3. And if you look at row 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 and 9 pair, so this must be 1, 2, 3 and this must be 1, 2 and 3, right? Now we have a 1, 2, 3 triplet in row box 1, and one of these two cells must contain a 2 because of this triplet, so this is not a 2, this is 1 and 3. Amazing, guys. Really so much fun to solve. If you solve such Sudokus in leisure, the amount of fun that you derive is incomparable. So there is a 3, 6 pair here, which means that this is not a 3. So 3 has to be in one of these two cells. Let's look at column 5. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Remaining are 1, 2 and 3. We can place them 1, 2, 3. And these two cells must be 1, 2, 3 and this must be 1, 2, 3 as well. Right? These three cells must be 1, 2 and 3. So we have a 1, 2, 3 triplet again. So which means that one of these two cells will be 2. So 2 can't be here. This will be a 1 and 2. Okay, again 1, 2, 3 triplet in row 7, right? So which means that this cannot be 1 or 2, so this will be a 5, this will be a 6, this will be a 5, this will be a 6, this will be a 5, and because of the 6 you get a 6 and a 3 here. Okay, and this 6 resolves this 3, 6 pair, and this 3 removes the 3 from here, this will be 1 or a 2. And let's look at this 15 kg now. We could have resolved this long back actually, but I was so focused on getting the pairs resolved that I missed this. So if you have a 6 here, you can't have a 9 here, right? So this would be 8. And that completes the 8, 9, I think explosively. So you can't have a 9 here. So this is 8, 9, 8, 9, 8, 9, 8, 9, 8, 9, 8, 9, 8, 9, 9, 8, 9. Superb, guys. I don't know how to explain the fun I'm having solving the Sudoku. Amazing. Because you can't have a 9 here, you need to have an 8 here. So you can blindly fill all the red cells with 8 and blindly fill all the green cells with 9. Beautiful, right? Superb solve path, DiMono. So you have a 1, 2 pair in column 3 now. So this must be a 3. So this must be a 1, 2. So from having only one cell about just 4, 5 minutes back, we have got so many digits in the grid. So this is a 1, 2 pair, so this will be a 3. So this will be a 1, 2 pair again. And which means that this cannot be a 5 because 5 is in that box. So this is a 1, 2, again 1, 2 pair. 3, 8, 9, 4 and 7, 1, 2. So these two cells must be 5, 6. But 6 is here, so which means we can resolve the 6, 5. This must be a 7 now because 5 is here. So this is a 1, this is a 2, this is a 3. And this one gives us a 1 here, a 2 here, a 1 here, a 2 here, a 1 here. And we can resolve the 2, 3 pair because of this 2. So this is a 2 and a 3. This 2, 3 gives a 1 here, a 1 here, a 2 here. And I think this must be a 3 for that column. Yeah, this is a 3. And these two cells must be 2 and 5, but 2 is here. So this is a 2, this is a 5. And this one gives us a 2 here, a 1 here, a 1 here, a 2 here. And this one gives us a 2 here and a 1 here. Absolutely tremendous Sudoku, guys. Tremendous Sudoku. Completely different feel than what you would expect in a normal killer Sudoku. There was a lot of 28 cages at the start where we had to know that 8 and 9 must definitely be inside the cage. and using that we eliminated the positions of 8 and 9 a lot, and then we later on used that the fact that 4 and 7, 5 and 6 must be in different cages depending on how they interact in each of the boxes. Hope you guys enjoyed watching me solve this beautiful Sudoku by DiMono. I had really great fun making a video on this Sudoku. Hope you guys enjoyed watching me solve this too. Please let us know in comments your thoughts, and do remember to subscribe to the channel. We hope to see you all soon.